Hey there, it's Bosch Owen. Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is a Bosch Classixx Varioperfect washing machine. The model number is WAE24167UK/47. I've got a dishwasher tablet and a rag in there, and I'm going to do a 90-degree wash in it now. It's behaved quite strangely. I got this machine for relatively small money. It had an error code, 3 lights on the spin cycle flashing, and I gave the motor a bit of a refurbish. That didn't really fix anything. It ran for a bit and then stopped. I've recently done a proper job in the commutator. There'll be another video about that, or else it's already up. And I've done a 30-degree super quick 15 wash. That worked fine. Then I did a rinse and spin and just left it alone. That seemed to be going fine, and it was spinning. When I came back out just now about an hour later, the residual current device in the garage had tripped and there was no power. Now this was the only thing that was left on as far as I remember. So I wondered, did somehow this in the very tail end of the drain off trip the switch? There's a little bit of a smell of kind of burning plastic or something in there, but as you can see the motor's still working, so I don't know if there's anything wrong with it or not, but I don't want a machine that's going to keep tripping the switch. And I wonder what it was. I refurbished the commutator and put brand new brushes in it. Now, you can hear that, it sounds a little bit clicky. I wonder, has a bar popped out on that commutator? Is it just completely dead? It could be. We'll see how this 90-degree wash goes, but it could just blow the fuse again. If that happens at some point in the video, the lights will go off. We'll get to a spin, maybe. I can't check it without putting the machine up on its side. In fact, I think I can check it, really. So, what can we see in there? The brushes are at the back, so I can't get in to see them without putting the machine upside down. I'm not going to try and reach in here. It does have a bit of a burning plastic smell off it, but I don't know. I'll just have to leave it go and see. Yeah, it might have, one of the bars on the commutator may have popped out, although I don't think they should have. I don't think it would work if they had. It sounds bloody loud though. We'll leave it and see what happens. Check in periodically. Okay, so after 8 minutes, cold there, we lost power. I'm guessing it's from this washing machine because there's nothing else happening. I'll turn off the machine, turn on the power. I think I'll leave the wash for the moment, although it does have soap in it. Get the power back on. Okay, the power's back on. I'll switch this on again. I've switched this off so there's no power coming in. I'm going to see if it'll do a drain off. Anything? Oh, I've lost it in the shed as well. Let's turn it on here. There's the lights back on. Okay. I don't know if a drain only does a spin as well. It says spin there, so it might pop again. spin light's on, but I don't know if it's meant to spin on a drain cycle. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's certainly not turning one way or the other. But if the bulk of the water's gone out of it, then I'm happy enough. It'll take 2 minutes for that door to open. I'll come back to it when it does. So it's just clicked, I think, the door release, and there's the end. So let's turn that off. I'll take this damp laundry out of there. It's all soapy. And I'll plug it out, turn it up on its side, have a look at this motor again. Can't see anything without taking this motor out. It's the commutator is only viewable from the other side, not this side, so that doesn't help. I guess I'm gonna have to do that as well then. So we're back on the bench. The motor's quite hot. That's the first thing I've noticed. Let's do it all again. I'm just looking for continuity here. This one to a brush, yeah. This one to the next brush, yeah. Okay, that should suggest that the thermal fuse isn't gone. This one to here, yeah. This one to here, yeah, that looks okay. This one to this one. So it's got something going across there, across the brushes, which looks okay as well. Anything to earth? I'm not expecting it to have an earth leak. It feels a bit hot. Everything feels a bit hot, but I think a motor when it's in use would feel a bit hot. Like it got hot when I was bench testing it as well. Let's just for funsies put some electricity into it. See what happens. If anything, because if a thermal fuse hasn't blown, it should just work. We're on 0 volts on the Variac. I'm over here where my thumb is, turning up the power. Nothing happening there. Yeah, bit of smoke there. Too much and sheet pops. Let's turn it off. I don't like that at all. I guess that's the smell we had the last time. Okay, no power. What happened there? It's a bit weird, you know. The commutator looks fine. It looks a bit hot, maybe. Bits. None of those pieces have popped off. Where did that smoke just come from, you know? That's the question. Let's get into it. This is just turning into a saga. Better take the brushes out first. See there, They're worn in, but they're still pretty good. Just bed it in normally, that's okay on that side. This side, it's like if there's a problem, it's likely to be something that I've done. Should look better than the old ones still. A bit of heat on that side, but okay, 4 screws. We're back in. Spring washer. Let's have a look at this. Bearing's not so hot. That whole armature is hot in my hand. That smoke came out of somewhere. Get something to hold this with because it's a bit toasty. Nothing looks bad, it's really weird. Something's wrong with it. Bit of something sticking out here. Got a wire though, and something. See, if this was cooked in the past, it might just be completely dead as armatures go. Let's plug this one out. I can see a bit of melty looking plastic there. Yeah, that's all snotted around with melted plastic, so that's come off this side here. Jesus, that's hot. Jeez Louise. I don't know. I think at this point I can just check for continuity in that. See, it cleans up okay. But it's definitely been heated. But sometimes you see when these get too hot, one of the little tabs of copper just pops out. There's a lot of heat in that rotor winding. So yeah, what are these little pieces of plastic in here? That's the thermal fuse there. It feels cold actually compared to everything else. Let's test it. I think I know it's fine, but something popped there. Yeah, it's got continuity, so it's okay. Could there be a dud winding in here? I think, I guess that these things have pairs. Opposite end pairs somehow. That should all have continuity as you run around, and they're all slightly offset from the field magnetism, and that causes it to rotate, but that's as much as my knowledge will tell me. Something popped there and smoke came out, and if this is really hot, it's probably this. So it could just be that this motor's dead and that's that. Don't like that though. And if that is the case, maybe I should just give it a bit more power, but I'm gonna let it cool down and try it again later. Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. The bench is clear, almost clear, because I was doing a different job on a fan in the interim, but we're back to this rotor from this motor. I've left it for a week, thought about it, edited all the rest of the video up to this frame here, and thought about it and thought it sounded awful when I put it back together. The bearings are a little bit loose, but that shouldn't be the end of the world. There's not a massive amount of play. In fact, there's very little play. But something's wrong in this armature, in this rotor winding, I reckon. And when we saw smoke coming out of it on the bench, it's not going to work again. So I think that wraps it up for this Bosch machine and this Bosch motor. The other thing I don't understand is these little bits of plastic in here. They've come out from somewhere, presumably somewhere in here, heated up and the plastic flowed out when it was spinning. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I got a price for one of these on the internet and it was 150 quid. Found one for sale second hand in Poland, but oh man, it's not worth the hassle for, I think it was about 40 quid to get it, and it wasn't even shipping over here, so I have to figure that out as well. So recently I fixed one and I haven't fixed this one. So it's a 50-50 there. I'll keep this motor because I've done a thermal fuse recently and this thermal fuse is okay. And I know as well that, you know, not all these motors are the same. They all have slight differences. Pinouts are all slightly different and it's a bit of a nightmare. But round and abouts, I'll make a note on it that it's broken. What's wrong, I think. Because, like, I think the commutator ring's fine. I think the brushes work fine. But so I know the brush holder would work fine. I think this winding's probably fine. So I'll keep it with my stock of other motors that I've rustled up recently. When I was doing this video, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, 8 here, not to mention all the machines that are outside. We fixed it, we didn't fix it, we fixed it again, it's still not working. It's a nice machine if I can find a motor for it. It's nice and clean, it's only 6 years old. It's a shame really for a Bosch machine, but there you go. If it made sense, give it a like if you liked it. If you like these kinds of videos, I've got a lot of playlists. You could subscribe to one of them. That'd be cool. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below. I'm kind of disappointed, but, you know. Oh, dear. Yeah, oh, hold on. That bearing's dead. I can feel there's a caught up there a second ago. Yeah, dead. I'm not going to put new bearings on that. If you've seen my video on how to press one of these out, I ended up trying to do another one and I ended up completely knackering my little bearing puller. So trying to get those bearings off, you know, it's a one-time part. Even though it's made out of bits, it really isn't designed to be fixed apart from the brushes. Such is life. Thanks for watching. See you later.